Hello and welcome to a little bit different video than normally. As some of you may know, I'm not only reviewing Game Boy games, I'm also creating ROM hacks, mainly randomizers for Game Boy games. I found a new project that I want to do and I will accompany my progress with a little video series, explaining what I'm doing, how and why, so that people who want to do ROM hacks for Game Boy games too can have a good starting point. This will work for Game Boy Color and Game Boy Advance games. Today we start with the basics. The plan of the project, introducing some useful tools, and explaining more fundamental concepts that everyone who wants to ROM hack needs to understand. Decimal, binary and hexadecimal numbers. So let's begin. The plan of the project. I really like to play grand strategy games. That is a very niche genre on the Game Boy for obvious reasons. But it exists. I did, for example, an overhaul mod for Nobunaga's Ambition on the Game Boy to make the game based on Lord of the Rings. During my review series, I found another grand strategy game on the Game Boy that I've never heard of before. Tokio Senki Eiyuu Retsuden. This game is really fun and quality-wise way above Nobunaga's Ambition. I could imagine making an overhaul for this game, but the game is just in Japanese. So this project aims to translate the game to English. To do that, we need to find the text in the game files, translate them, and show the translated text in the English alphabet instead of the Japanese one. Not easy, but we will do it step by step. Useful tools. To do anything, we will need some software. To play the game and test our changes, we need an emulator. For that I use Visual Boy Advance. Besides that, we will need, at least for the start, just an hexadecimal editor that can open the game run to modify the hex code. I use for this Hexmaniac Advance. The link is in the description below. I will explain all the software in more detail when we use them. But here are some more useful tools. YYCHR to rip and modify graphics, GHydra to decompile for more complicated changes, and BGB Game Boy emulator to watch the states of pointers in certain moments. No need to understand that yet, we will get to it in the future. Decimal, hexadecimal and binary numbers. When we open the game file with our editor, we will see a weird combination of numbers and sometimes letters. While that might look a bit confusing in the beginning, it will make a little bit more sense soon. What we see here are hexadecimal digits. Every byte, that are the little fields, have two hexadecimal digits that can contain the numbers 0 to 9 and the letters A to F. They represent a number between 0 and 255. They work in a very easy way. In the hexadecimal system, we count normally until the 9, but after the 9 is not 10, but A, B, C, D, E, and F. After that we continue with 1, 0. That might look like a 10, but it's actually representing the number 16 in our normal decimal system. So we always need to be a bit careful in what system we are working at the moment. So why is the hexadecimal system used at all? Every two hexadecimal digits, 1 byte, contains 8 bits, so a binary number with the length of 8. 8 zeros or ones in every possible combination. That is used in the game for everything. To understand it better, you can use a binary decimal hexadecimal converter. I put the link in the description below. When we will need these things in the future, I will try to explain it on a real example, so don't worry if you don't understand everything just yet. I also started a Discord channel for everyone who wants to follow the progress, help out, or just discuss Game Boy games in general. I put the link in the description below. Okay, that was all for the introduction. Next part we start the real ROM hacking.